When a young artist steps onto one of the most sacred stages in Las Vegas, the weight on their shoulders goes far beyond just putting on a good show. There is a deep history, massive expectations, and the lingering shadow of past legends watching from behind the curtain. But choosing to perform a track widely recognized as an absolute vocal minefield is a high-risk move that can either launch a career into orbit or crush a reputation in a matter of seconds. Whitney Houston's signature songs have shattered the confidence of thousands of experienced singers over the decades. The extreme technical demands, incredible pitch control, and intense emotional depth embedded in those tracks make even seasoned vocalists think twice before putting them on a live. As the house lights began to dim inside the historic, no one in the room realized they were about to witness a version of Run to You, unlike anything ever heard in the modern music scene. The International Theater at Las Vegas isn't just another shiny showroom filled with bright lights and fancy seats. This is sacred ground, the exact arena where permanently altered live performance history and set the gold standard for stage presence. Stepping onto those iconic floorboards completely barefoot, a signature choice she has kept since childhood as a symbol of grounding and total honesty, Jordan instantly changed the temperature of the room. There were no absurd light displays, no backup dancers distracting the audience, and no flashy visual tricks to hide behind. All that remained on stage was a single microphone, a live band, and an 18-year-old singer preparing to confront a song that demands complete emotional exposure. And as the first instrumental notes drifted through the air, an unexpected hush fell over every single corner of the auditorium. Tackling any track from Whitney Houston's catalog in front of a live crowd always comes with a massive target on your back. Released back in 1992 as a central pillar of the legendary Bodyguard soundtrack, Run to You is a masterpiece that requires an ironclad chest voice, flawless head voice transitions, and world-class breath control. Music analysts and vocal coaches routinely warn younger performers to stay far away from this material during live shows. The chances of cracking a note, losing pitch, or causing permanent vocal strain from forcing high belts are dangerously high. To make matters tougher, Las Vegas audiences are famous for being some of the most critical and unforgiving crowds in the entertainment world. Even the tiny mistake gets picked apart instantly. Yet, as the opening line floated out into the dark room, it became immediately obvious to everyone that she wasn't planning on copying Whitney at all. Rather than trying to replicate the high-octane pop belting of the 90s, the arrangement took a dramatic detour into dark, velvety jazz and rich soul. The tempo was intentionally pulled back, giving every word a heavy, heartbreaking weight to resonate in the air. Her signature raspy low notes provided a solid foundation for the verses, swapping out bright pop production for an atmospheric, moody tension. By delivering the lyrics like a quiet, private confession rather than a massive arena spectacle, the track transformed from a grand cinematic anthem into a fragile, desperate cry for connection. However, holding back that much vocal power requires a rare level of discipline, something that took even the most seasoned music critics in attendance off guard. Las Vegas crowds typically show up expecting loud explosions, endless energy, and instant gratification. During the first couple of minutes, a few spectators secretly wondered if such a restrained, minimalist approach could actually hold the attention of a massive venue. But all those doubts shattered the second the song hit the bridge. Without any warning, the emotional containment gave way to full, resonant high belts that soared effortlessly above the brass section. The transition from a whispered, intimate hush to an explosive vocal projection happened so smoothly that it caught the entire audience off guard. A wave of awe swept through the crowd as everyone realized they weren't watching a simple cover song, they were witnessing the total reinvention of a classic. Yet behind the deafening applause that filled the room at the final note, an old industry debate began bubbling back up to the surface. Whenever a young singer with a raspy tone pushes their vocal cords on heavy-hitting songs, rumors and warnings from vocal analysts start flying around. Across online forums and music breakdown channels, critics have frequently questioned whether demanding tour schedules and high risk could threaten the long-term health of her natural voice. Whispers about label demands and industry pressure to hit viral metrics often cast a shadow over rising talent navigating major deals. There is always a fear that pushing raspy textures too hard can lead to serious vocal tissue issues if not handled with care. But seeing her command the high register with zero physical strain or breath exhaustion that night completely dismantled the arguments of her harshest skeptics. And when audience-captured video clips hit the internet just hours later, the global reaction was impossible to contain. Within moments of the final bow, phone recordings and fan uploads began exploding across social platforms. Comment sections quickly accumulated hundreds of thousands of reactions from music lovers around the globe. Many fans immediately compared the raw energy of the performance to iconic, unedited acoustic sessions from decades past. Listeners who had grown exhausted by pristine, hyperprocessed modern studio tracks celebrated the sheer honesty of the live recording. It served as a stark reminder to the music business that genuine vocal control on stage still holds a power that no software or studio trickery can ever match. This automatically triggered a bigger debate surrounding the hidden mechanics behind her unique vocal signature. Heavy, raspy vocal texture is often misunderstood by casual listeners as a sign of vocal damage or flawed technique. In the professional music world, however, that distinct tone is usually a mix of unique anatomy and a deep understanding of vocal placement. Speculation previously circulated that her distinct sound wouldn't hold up in massive live settings without heavy studio effects to back it up, but her performance at the proved those theories completely wrong. Her ability to slide effortlessly between whispered low notes and roaring belts showed a rock-solid foundation of breath support. She wasn't straining her vocal folds to force a sound, she was utilizing her body's natural resonance to throw her voice across a massive theater with ease. This technical achievement opened people's eyes to just how rare that level of raw craftsmanship has become in modern pop culture. In an era where stadium tours regularly rely on hidden guide tracks, live pitch correction, and subtle lip-syncing to guarantee a fake idea of perfection, an honest, raw performance stands out like a beacon. Plenty of modern pop icons have faced exposed scandals when raw audio feeds leaked to the public, showing off disastrous vocals and triggering accusations of selling fake talent to ticket buyers. In an industry flooded with digital shortcuts, the courage to stand on a legendary stage with nothing more than a live band is a bold statement. The tiny imperfections and spontaneous vocal choices are precisely what make the music feel alive, offering a deep emotional connection that no machine can simulate. Which naturally brings up an even more intense topic that hangs over the entertainment world. The journey of a prodigy transitioning into a mature artist is almost never smooth sailing. Music history is packed with tragic stories of young stars who were overwhelmed by overnight fame, financial exploitation by those around them, or bitter legal battles over predatory contracts. Far too many gifted artists have had their careers ruined or ended up broken due to severe mental health struggles, toxic habits, or even tragic instances where young talents completely lost their battles with the dark pressures of the industry. Fans constantly wonder if the support system around rising stars is strong enough to shield them from the predatory forces waiting in the shadows of Hollywood and Las Vegas. Fortunately, her laser focus on the art form and strong roots seem to be keeping her grounded on a safe path forward. There is a clear reason why songs written decades ago continue to be performed by new generations. Masterpieces aren't meant to be locked away in a museum or repeated endlessly in their original form until they lose their magic. They need new interpretations, fresh energy, and bold artists willing to challenge their original structures. When a singer can take a legendary track from one of the greatest vocalists of all time and transform it into something deeply personal without ruining its original soul, the line between a cheap karaoke copy and true artistry becomes unmistakable. The performance at the wasn't just another tribute to Whitney Houston. It was proof that timeless songs can evolve and thrive in a whole new era. Leaving us to wonder where this live music revolution is headed next. Taking a massive gamble on a world-class song inside a historic venue like the Las Vegas is a huge risk, but stepping outside comfort zones and refusing to play it safe is what separates a temporary viral clip from a timeless artist. By stripping away artificial studio gloss and leaning into pure, heartfelt storytelling, this performance proved that legendary music will always find a way to connect with new generations. It leaves us with one powerful question to think about. In a modern world dominated by fake perfection and computer-generated tracks, are we finally witnessing the grand return of real, raw live music?